Number 10. The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz provides a candid and honest account of the challenges of building and scaling a successful business. He uses examples from his own experiences as a CEO, including his time at LoudCloud and Opsware, to illustrate the importance of resilience, perseverance, and making tough decisions in the face of uncertainty and adversity. Horowitz also provides guidance on how to navigate difficult situations, such as layoffs or product failures, and emphasizes the importance of building a strong culture and team. Number 9. The Design of Business by Roger Martin argues that design thinking can be used to create innovative and successful business strategies. He defines design thinking as a human-centered approach that emphasizes empathy, experimentation, and creativity. Martin uses examples from companies such as Procter & Gamble and Cirque du Soleil to illustrate how design thinking can be used to create products and services that meet the needs of customers in new and innovative ways. He also provides guidance on how to apply design thinking to the process of strategy development and execution. Number 8. The Lean Startup by Eric Ries provides a framework for building and scaling successful startups through continuous experimentation and iteration. He emphasizes the importance of creating a minimum viable product, MVP, and using customer feedback to refine and improve the product over time. Ries also introduces the concept of the build measure learn feedback loop, which involves testing and iterating on key assumptions in order to refine and improve the product. He uses examples from a range of startups, such as Dropbox and Zappos, to illustrate the power of the lean startup approach. Number 7. The Strategy Paradox by Michael E. Raynor challenges the conventional wisdom that companies need to be fully committed to their strategies in order to succeed. Instead, he argues that overcommitment can actually lead to failure, by making it difficult for companies to adapt to changing circumstances or learn from their mistakes. He uses examples such as Blockbuster and Kodak to illustrate how companies that were once leaders in their industries became complacent and failed to adapt to changing market conditions. Raynor also provides guidance on how to avoid the strategy paradox, by developing a flexible and adaptive approach to strategy. Number 6. Positioning. The Battle for Your Mind by Al Ries and Jack Trout introduces the concept of positioning, which involves creating a unique and compelling brand identity that differentiates a company from its competitors in the minds of consumers. They argue that effective positioning is key to building a strong brand, and use examples from the advertising industry, such as the Avis We Try Harder campaign, to illustrate the power of effective positioning. They also provide guidance on how to develop and execute effective positioning strategies. Number 5. The Art of Strategy by Avinash K. Dixit and Barry J. Nailbuff provides an introduction to game theory and its applications to business strategy. They argue that game theory can be used to model strategic interactions between companies, and provide a range of tools and concepts that can be used to understand and analyze these interactions. They use examples from various industries, such as the airline industry and the market for online advertising, to illustrate how game theory can be used to develop effective strategies. Number 4. Blue Ocean Strategy by W. Chan Kim and Renee Mulborn challenges the traditional approach to strategy, which is often focused on competing in existing markets. Instead, they propose that companies can create new market space and unlock growth by pursuing blue ocean strategies that focus on creating new demand. They use the example of Cirque du Soleil to illustrate how a company can create a new market by combining elements of circus and theater, and emphasize the importance of value innovation, which involves creating new and compelling value propositions for customers. Number 3. Good Strategy/Bad Strategy by Richard Rumelt provides a clear and compelling framework for creating and executing successful strategies. He argues that good strategy involves creating a clear and compelling vision, identifying the key challenges and opportunities facing a company, and developing a coherent and actionable plan for achieving the vision. He uses examples such as Apple's successful turnaround in the late 1990s to illustrate the power of good strategy, and contrasts it with bad strategy, which he defines as a collection of vague or contradictory goals that do not provide clear direction or focus for a company. Number 2. The Innovator's Dilemma by Clayton M. Christensen challenges the conventional wisdom that established companies are best positioned to innovate and disrupt their industries. Instead, he argues that disruptive innovation often comes from new entrants or smaller companies that are able to take advantage of new and emerging technologies. Christensen uses examples from a range of industries, including disk drives, steel, and photography, to illustrate how companies can become trapped by their own success and fail to see the potential of disruptive technologies. He also provides guidance on how established companies can overcome the innovator's dilemma by creating separate units or subsidiaries that are focused on developing and commercializing new technologies. Number 1. Michael E. Porter's competitive strategy provides a comprehensive framework for analyzing the competitive landscape of an industry and understanding the factors that drive competition and profitability. He introduces concepts such as industry structure, the 5 forces that determine industry attractiveness, and the value chain, which can be used to identify areas of competitive advantage. Porter also provides guidance on how to develop and execute successful strategies, and emphasizes the importance of aligning a company's activities with its overall strategic goals. For example, he uses the airline industry to illustrate how companies can use strategic analysis to gain a competitive advantage by identifying factors such as economies of scale, route networks, and customer loyalty. In addition to these 10 books, there are many other excellent resources available on the topic of strategy and positioning. Some of these resources include the Harvard Business Review, the McKinsey Quarterly, the Strategy and Business Journal, the MIT Sloan Management Review, the Stanford Business Review, the World Economic Forum, the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, the World Trade Organization. These resources can provide MBA students with access to the latest thinking on strategy and positioning from leading academics, practitioners, and policymakers.